Okay, so we are going to discuss today first that solutions of the assignment 1 problem. Let me see the first example that given in the assignment. You can come to know whether you done it correctly or not then. The first example was evaluate the integral 0 to infinity x raised to m into e raised to minus x raised to m dx. So obviously, just I will take that on the screen. Okay. Yes, okay. If you are giving me some hints, but okay, I took randomly, I think 141. Okay, so this is the definition for gamma. Gamma m is nothing but integral 0 to infinity x raised to m minus 1 into e raised to minus x dx. So we have to convert the integral. Our aim is to convert this integral in this form. So this x, that power of exponential function should be linear with minus sign. So here x raised to m is equal to t, and this is the first important thing that he done correctly. So selected a correct substitution. So that about the first part. Then if that x raised to m is equal to t, then the better way is always to get the value of x in terms of t. That's the best way. If you do it in other way, that is also okay. So x is equal to t upon a raised to 1 by m, that is also correctly written. So this one is correct, this one is correct. Value of a dx 1 upon m, t upon a raised to 1 by m minus 1 into 1 by a dt. Very good. So we got this. And the last important thing, yes, this is a limits also he checked, and that is also good thing. Okay, so when x is a 0, you observe when x is a 0, t is a 0. When x is infinity, t is infinity. So limits goes from 0 to infinity again. So there is no change in a limit. So let me substitute all the values. We have here x raised to m. The value of x is a t upon a raised to m. So that is actually, yes, this one, t upon a raised to 1 by m raised to, sorry, it is a 1 by, okay, here is a little problem in writing m and n. Okay, so the m have, okay, this one and n. Okay, so this is n actually, and so m upon n is coming there. Okay, e raised to minus t 1 upon m. So just replace all the values, that is also correct. So next step, the constants will come out. The constants will be the power of a. So 1 upon m is here, and a raised to m by n plus 1 by n. 1 by n plus m by n, that is the correct power of a again. Good. And we're left with e raised to minus t into t raised to m upon n plus 1 upon n minus 1. This step is also correct. Very good. And nextly, just simplified the power. Okay, directly written the answer, no issue. So because we know that this is m plus 1 upon n, and here is minus 1, so it is gamma m plus 1 upon n. That's good, and you got the correct answer. Any doubt in the question number 1? Because whatever he written is exactly the correct. Okay, it's very good, nicely written. Any doubt in the example number 1? Okay, there is no doubt, no one is asking anything, no issue. So let me move then. Let me move to the next question, question number 2. Here is question number 2. Question number 2 is evaluate integral 0 to 1 x raised to m log x raised to n dx. And whenever the term log x appeared, the example is on the gamma, we already seen. So log x equal to minus t, that is one better substitution. X is e raised to minus t, dx is a minus e raised to minus t dt. And the most important thing about a limit, when x is a 0, log 0 is infinity, and when x is a 1, log 1 is a 0. So infinity to 0, that will become the limit. So everything is correct. So main thing is this substitution. Okay. And now replace all the values here. Good. Then minus 1 raised to n e raised to minus. Okay, he is writing n plus 1. Okay. This n plus 1. See, there's a little problem in writing n and m. Okay, I don't know what he's writing, either n or m there. Okay. So n plus 1 t is u, that is, otherwise it is okay, everything is fine. And we left with this part. 2 times integration is done, and I think each and every step looks correct here. I think there is no doubt there. If any doubt you have in this example, yeah, you can ask. Is there any doubt? Majority of you submitted, and that submission is your answers are correct there. But if still you have any doubt, yeah, you can ask there. Last question, question number 3 on gamma from the assignment 1 that given is a cube root of log of 1 by x. Cube root of log of 1 by x. So log of 1 by x is equal to t. That's a better substitution. So 1 by x become e raised to t, x become e raised to minus t, which we want, and dx become minus e raised to minus t dt. And the limit is similar to the previous question, because when x is 0, actually 1 upon 0 is infinity, log of infinity is infinity, and when x is a 1, log 1 is a 0. So log infinity is infinity, as well as log 0 is infinity. So this term is infinity. So limit goes infinity to 0, and this becomes t raised to 1 by 3. Good. Okay, that's nice. Is written exactly correct. And here, this minus sign we can use to change. Here, I think, yes, minus is written here. Minus sign used to change the order of limit, and that become gamma 1 by 3 plus 1. It is a 4 by 3, gamma 4 by 3, correct. You can write the answer as gamma 4 by 3 or 1 by 3, gamma 1 by 3. 1 by 3, gamma 1 by 3. That's the correct answer again. If you have any doubt, yeah, you can ask. This is also correct. Any doubt? That about your solutions for the assignment number 1. 3 questions was asked, and all 3 questions are on the gamma only. So if you don't have any doubt, there is one more question which is asked on WhatsApp. Okay, one given me this question. I think okay, I don't remember the name right now. Okay, so here is a question. I will show you. So this is a question which one is asked in one of the question paper. Evaluate integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus x, x raised to m minus 1 sine bx dx in terms of a gamma function. Evaluate this value of integral in terms of a gamma function. But now the problem with this question is, we know the, yes, someone is on the chat, let I check. Okay, 149 is asked this question. Okay, good. Sahitya, no? Okay, good. So the question, this question, if you see here, our aim is to evaluate this question, or sorry, this integral by a gamma function, or in terms of a gamma function there. To evaluate this integral in gamma, the problem is this trigonometric term. We know these integrals we can evaluate, e raised to minus ax into x raised to n dx, yes, and limit are 0 to infinity, we can integrate it. But extra term is there as a sine bx, and this is the example actually you will better understand after we finish the complex number. But even though before complex number, I will give the hint, but after complex number, you will get this quickly. Okay. So what is the way to complete this example? Let I show you. So the way we should start is, first we should only evaluate this part, integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus x, x raised to m minus 1 dx. Okay, only that integral we have to evaluate. Can you do this task? So just right now integrate 0 to infinity e raised to minus ax, x raised to m minus 1 dx. Ignore sine bx and integrate it, and tell me the answer. Okay, tell me the answer. Do it. I'll give 2 minutes, and I want the answer.
सही आंसर 1 upon e raised to m.
1 upon a raised.
सर किधर है?
Not correct. 1 upon a raised to m is not only the answer.
Sir, into gamma n.
Gamma
N.
m. In this case, m is there. So gamma
Yes, sir.
m
Gamma.
upon a raised to m. Correct. Okay.
Gamma m upon a to the power m into sine
Yes,
dx.
very good, very good. That's correct. Not sine theta will not be there. Where we started actually for this question. So I already told if this question will come in the exam, the approach is a little different actually. So we should start with here as you have to prove this first as integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus ax into x raised to m minus 1 dx is gamma m upon a raised to, yes, is it m plus 1?
M.
No, sir.
Yes.
Only
No,
m.
sir, A raised
Only
to
m.
M.
Okay.
M only m.
So only m is coming. You can check gamma m upon a raised to m. So this is actually one of the property of a gamma function. We proved actually there by putting ax equal to t. Just put ax equal to t, you get integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus t raised to m minus 1 dt is a gamma m upon a raised to m, and that is the answer. So this one is you have to start. Actually, you can start from here also. In the exam, you can start from here also. Okay, so once you get this, now we want this sine term. Now here is a use of that complex number. First of all, we have complex number z equal to say x plus iy. Every complex number have Cartesian as well as a polar form, and we can convert that complex number x plus iy as r times cos theta plus I sin theta. Okay,
Yes,
this we
sir.
are going to learn in detail in complex. Okay, you may think yes, right now something is difficult here is happening, but it's not so difficult. You have, and already you done this part in 12th also, but still we are going in very basic with very basic for complex number there. So just right now remember z equal to r cos theta plus I sin theta is a polar form of a complex number. And now if you observe, suppose we are taking a complex number whose magnitude is 1, whose magnitude is 1 there. So z equal to cos theta plus I sin theta, if it is our complex number, uh, which is a e raised to I theta. This is an exponential formula or exponential form of a complex number. So e raised to I theta is a Euler's formula, says it is a cos theta plus I sin theta. Okay, now out of all these, we should remember this only. What is e raised to I theta? E raised to I theta is a cos theta plus I sin theta. Which terms we require here? Sin bx. So if you want sin bx, both side will replace theta by bx. We get e raised to I bx. E raised to I bx is a cos bx plus I times sin bx. Now what we are going to do it, we are going to replace sin bx. We are going to replace this sin bx by imaginary part of e raised to I bx, because cos bx is the real part, sin bx is the imaginary part. So the next step, just we are going to write same integral in which, this integral I, okay, let us start it and you tell me if you have any issue there. Okay, I will start it here. So mainly focus on this part. What is e raised to I bx? E raised to I bx is cos bx plus I sin bx. This is Euler's formula. You will learn this formula in a complex number. And now let I write one important thing. The integral I, this is the integral I, which is given integral, which is the integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus ax x raised to m minus 1 sin bx dx. This is the given integral I. That can be written as imaginary part of which integral now? It is a e raised to minus ax as it is, x raised to m minus 1 as it is, sin bx we are replacing by e raised to I bx. Is it clear? So whatever, because out of all these integral, e raised to I bx is only complex number, which can be written as cos bx plus I sin bx. So if you take imaginary part of this integral, that will be the required value of the integral. Is it clear? Why
Sir,
we are
what
doing
about cos bx?
The
cos
real
b?
part will be what, sir?
Yes, we are written imaginary part now because of that. So cos bx will go out. At the end, we are only taking imaginary part. So we get this integral.
Sir, so if in the question there will be cos bx, so we'll write real part.
Very good. Yes, nice, correct. Okay, so that's the only
Then,
logic. Yeah.
sir, then it will be e power IBX. Then what will be, sir? Only
No.
cos.
Now see,
It will be
if
the same, no, sir. E power I bx, only imaginary part will be replaced by real part.
correct, very good. It is e raised to
Okay.
ibx only remains same. The question can be asked for sin bx also or cos bx also. If it is for sin bx, we have to consider only imaginary part. If it is cos bx, then we have to take a real part, and that only two possibilities, not other than that. So tan bx or cot bx, that will never come in the exam. Okay,
That means only we'll be changing IP or RP. That's it.
correct, correct. Either ip or rp, that is only the change. And now the question becomes a simple, because this imaginary part remains as it is. The best part, what has happened, that trigonometric term converted in exponential form, because in gamma formula we require only exponential function. We don't require any trigonometric logarithmic term, nothing we require. So exponential function we got it. So just we collect it together. So we can write it as e raised to, now x is taken common, I can write it as a minus of a minus ib of x. Is it okay? Remaining terms as it is. What I am writing, e raised to, minus is taken common because we want that
Yes, sir.
form. E raised to minus of a minus ib, because we collected the power of exponential term. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And now just we proved one formula, integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus ax x raised to m minus 1 dx is gamma m upon a raised to m, gamma m upon a raised to m. So this imaginary part of, now by that property, by property of that gamma function, this is a gamma m upon, what is a here, a minus ib, a minus ib raised to m. Is that clear?
Yes,
Is
sir.
this
Yes, sir.
okay? If you are not getting this, I will write the reason here. The reason will go like this. We can write it like this, as integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus ax x raised to n minus 1 dx is gamma n upon a raised to n. So in this case, if the power is n minus 1, it is gamma n. So here power is m minus 1, so it is gamma n, and divided by a raised to n, that is coefficient of x. So here coefficient of x is a minus ib. Okay, any doubt?
No, sir.
Now only last part is left here. We have to find out imaginary part of this complex number. To get imaginary part of complex number, this complex number, bracketed complex number, is not in a standard form. What is the standard form? Tell me. What is standard form of complex number? That it
A
should
plus
be
I.
a plus ib. Okay, a plus ib form or x plus iy form. So iota should not be in the denominator in complex. So if it is in
It
the
should be
numerator,
rationalized, no, sir.
pardon?
It should be rationalized, no.
Yes, we have to rationalize. Correct. So as we there is one of the way rationalize, but it becomes a difficult. And now here is the use of that one of the theorem you are going to learn in complex number. That is a
D-log.
De Moivre's theorem. Okay. Now, what is De Moivre's theorem? You will going to learn it in detail. Remember, at least 2-3 sessions we are going to discuss about only De Moivre's theorem. Okay. So you'll go, you will learn this theorem in detail there. De Moivre's theorem mainly deals with the power of a complex number. Whenever we come across power of complex number, we can simplify with the help of De Moivre's there. So we have to represent this number in a polar form again, that is a plus ib or a minus ib. We will write it in terms of r times cos theta plus I sin theta and r times, okay, so that is polar form. And then power of that complex number become the multiple of the angle. Okay, right now just remember it. In the detail you will learn in complex number. Okay, This step you will learn detail in a complex number. So I'll write it here. Imaginary part of this gamma m remain as it is. Now denominator we are going to replace as r raised to m into cos theta minus I sin theta raised to m. So I can write by d mu s directly, or if you want we can do it separately. What we done, we replace a minus ib by r times cos theta minus I sin theta. What is the value of r? Anyone knows this? What is the value of r?
Under root a square
Root
plus
over a square
Under
plus
root
b.
a square
Where
plus
r
b
is the
square.
root of a square plus b square, correct? Very good. And what about theta?
Tan inverse b by a.
Inverse b by a.
Tan inverse b upon a. Very good, that's correct. So this is actually a representation of a complex number a minus ib in its polar form, where r is the root of a square plus b square and theta is the tan inverse of b upon a. Okay, so after this step, now this power of the bracket can be written as a multiple of the angle by a de Moivre's theorem, and that gives us a very simple thing to get the value of integral. Can I erase first two steps to write the new steps here?
Yes, sir.
So
Sir, I
yes,
want to ask a question.
yes,
If instead of a minus ib to the power m, it was a plus ib to the power m,
then you
then
write here
we
a
would
plus.
have, then we would have written, okay, sir.
Okay, then you write a plus.
A plus ib is equal to r into cos theta plus I sin theta. That is the
Correct, correct, correct. So let I write again on the top here, and I'm going to take the value of the integral again as imaginary part of just 1 minute. I will take it this little. Okay, so this is the imaginary part of, let I write the bracket. So this is gamma m upon r raised to m, and now this is cos m theta minus I sin m theta. Clear? This power of the bracket is written as a multiple of the angle. It is by de Moivre's theorem. You are going to learn it detail, remember. And now here is a simple thing to rationalize. Just multiply by conjugate of this. If you multiply, you get the answer now. The answer in 2 steps now you will receive. So just 2 steps there left, last 2 steps. So we say it is an imaginary part of, now rationalization. Yes, we multiply by, yes, what should be multiply?
Cos m theta plus I sin m theta.
Correct. Cos m theta plus I times sin m theta. Now what is the best thing for us? If you multiply by this term, multiply to the this term to the denominator, it becomes cos square m theta plus sin square m theta, and that is 1. I'm not written anything here. If you want, you can write it. Cos m theta minus I sin m theta into cos m theta plus I sin m theta is 1, because it is converting to cos square m theta plus sin square m theta. Any doubt there? Is there any doubt in this step?
Okay.
No, sir.
No. Now what do you the answer then? Now you have the answer here. Last step. Yes. What is the imaginary part of this bracket?
Sir, in the denominator, we did not write anything.
Because that is coming 1 na. R raised to m is there only, and multiplication of this bracket with that bracket is 1. A minus b into a plus b is a square minus b square. Again I square is a minus 1, so you get cos square theta plus sin square theta form, that is 1.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yes, what is the imaginary part of this bracket?
Gamma m by r to the power n
Correct.
sin m theta.
And that's the answer.
Yes, yes.
We got the value of whatever the given integral. You have this integral here. The value of this integral I is, this is the answer. This is the answer that you have. Okay. What will be the answer for cos bx now? Tell me. If instead of sin bx, if there is a cos bx, what will be your answer?
So gamma n r raised to m cos m theta.
Yes, that's one. So this,
Sorry to disturb you, sir. Actually, I got disconnected in last 2 minutes. Can you please explain the second last step?
okay, already actually I am recording this session. You will get this thing in on TMI LMS, but
Okay,
yes,
sir.
I will
Then no
explain.
problem, sir.
Okay, I will explain quickly here. Nothing we done here. Once we come across this step, we just done a rationalization multiplied by conjugate of the denominator. Conjugate of denominator is cos m theta plus I sin m theta. Here it comes in the numerator, then that comes in numerator, and when you multiply these two brackets in the denominator, that is coming as 1, and you get this as answer there.
Got it, sir.
Okay, yeah. Any doubt? Anyone else? You
Sir,
yes.
I am confused that how theta is m theta, sir.
Pardon? How?
Sir, how theta become m theta?
Yes, that is by de Moivre's theorem. You are going to learn in detail in complex number now. Actually, I want to take this example after complex number topic, but
Okay,
someone,
sir.
I think 149 asked me, so I'm taking in between here.
So, but we did the same theorem in nth derivative also.
Okay, you use there. Okay, so you know
So,
that complex number then. Okay, no issue then. So actually similar thing is there, correct? That is in successive differentiation. There is one example, a plus ib coming in the that way. Use this property actually, correct? Okay, I think there is no doubt now on this example. Okay, now the last set of the questions, I want to take it here. So here is a first example. So instead of solving by me, because what happens again, there are 3 questions only. Just I will